afternoon and welcome to the Market Wrap for Tuesday, the 20th of January. And look, today we did see the Aussie share market continuing to pull back down for a second straight day. Of course, Wall Street was shut last night. They had a long weekend over there to acknowledge Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So they were shut Monday night. So that means we look to European share markets to give us a lead into today's session. And they did have quite a dull session over there in Europe. In fact, they logged their biggest daily drop in 2 months. That weakness stemming from President Trump's threats to impose additional tariffs on 8 European allies until the US is allowed to buy Greenland. So that gave us that negative lead into our session, and we ended the day down by 0.2%, which was our worst day in over a month, ending at 8,815 points. And that means we have given up about half of last week's solid improvements. But look, as of right now, we're at the 20th of January. The market is still up 1.2% over the course of this month. So far, we do have a lot of big rocks to get through before we do reach the end of the month. You know, next week we do have, of course, the US interest rate decision. We have many of the Magnificent Seven handing down their results, and we also have Australian quarterly inflation to get through. So plenty that could move markets between now and then. Of course, we do have Trump with his tariff talk changing from day to day almost. So we'll wait and see where we do end up over the course of the month. But look, today we did see about half of the sectors falling while the other half improved. In fact, our two largest sectors, financials and materials, added the most weight, both falling by around 1% each. Tech did have a bit of reprieve though after dropping to a 9-month low yesterday. You can see there tech up by 0.9%, and utilities ended the day with the biggest improvement, up by around 1.5%. Bellevue Gold topped the winners list after reporting higher quarterly output and reaffirmed its FY26 guidance, so it shares up 5% today. HUB24 delivered record net inflow in the second quarter and also the half year. Now, over the quarter, it also saw 34 new distribution agreements being signed, and the total number of advisors using the platform increased by 8% compared to the same time last year. Elsewhere, Origin Energy was a support in the utility space after it announced it will keep Australia's largest coal-fired power plant running until 2029, delaying its closure by more than 1.5 years, citing a need to maintain stable energy supply in Eastern Australia. And Yancoal rose on the back of its quarterly update, and that came out after the market shut yesterday. So today was the first chance for investors to respond to that. On the other side of things, though, BHP released a mixed half-year update this morning, but investors seem to focus on increasing costs for its potash project in Canada, which rose $1 billion above last year's already revised range to $8.4 billion. So that detail overshadowed higher copper guidance and record first half production and shipments of iron ore. So today, BHP ending down by around 2%. Four-wheel drive accessory maker ARB disappointed investors with its latest market update, posting a 1% drop in total sales revenue over the first half, and said it expects to report a more than 16% drop in underlying profit in its official results, which will be out on February the 24th. And we also saw BlueScope Steel trading ex-dividend today. They're set to pay out a special dividend of $1 per share on the 24th of February as part of its capital management framework. Today we also saw Lynas down by over 6%, but it does remain 23% higher in year-to-date terms. Now, the Aussie dollar has picked up some ground. We've had the US dollar weakening amid Trump's latest tariff threats. So the Aussie dollar currently buying 67.3 US cents. Now, of course, tonight the US market will reopen after that long weekend. It's really their first chance to respond to Trump's tariffs that he announced over the course of the weekend. And in some breaking news this afternoon, after the Aussie market shut, we've actually had Trump threatening 200% tariffs on French wines and champagne. So we'll wait and see how global markets respond to that. At the moment, we do have US markets pointing to fall when they open up tonight after that long weekend. We have the Dow down 0.9%, the S&P 500 index pointing down by 1%, and the Nasdaq pointing lower by 1.2%. Of course, as always, plenty of time between now and when the US market opens for those numbers to potentially change, so keep that in mind. mind. We also have Netflix out with their results. That'll be after the US market shuts tonight. So tomorrow morning local time, 3am also out with their results. And tomorrow locally, we have more mining and energy companies out with their latest quarterlies. Evolution Mining, Beach Energy and Lynas are just some to be aware of. Have a nice night.